say before we get out of here? Because you'd ask the maitre d' for us?
Sure, you'll get it from the chef. I'm sure the chef will be flattered to death.
Oh, good. And then when I get home, I shall cook it for you and for Anna and for Jim. I would like just for once to come up with a recipe that she can't top.
Ah, I didn't know you were so competitive there.
That's my secret vice. Ooh, I hate to admit it, but it's kind of cold in here. I think I'll go up and get my wrap.
That's all right, I'll get it for you.
No, you stay here. I have to walk off some of this dinner. Why don't you order some brandy with the coffee, okay?
Ah, you got another hidden vice there. Secret tippler, huh?
And you are a coconut.
Miss?
Yes, sir?
Hi, could we have 2 brandies, please?
2 brandies. Right away, sir.
And, what is your name?
Didi.
Didi?
Uh-huh.
Well, I just want to know who to call for if I'm at the casino and my throat gets parched or if I'm running out of luck. You look like a lucky girl, Didi.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No?
No.
I mean, if you were standing right behind my chair at the blackjack table, if I were to reach up and take your hand, just as the dealer dealt me the first card, wouldn't that make me lucky?
We could give it a try.
What time do you get off work?
12 o'clock. 2 brandies, you say?
That's right. Why don't you stop in the casino around 12?
And who's the other one for?
Oh, I was going to drink them both myself.
Yeah. And everybody that believes that can take a running jump into the ocean.
All right, okay. Hold my coat. I'll be the first one to die in the end. Come on, here we go. Oh, here we are. Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Oh, and could you bring us some hot coffee with the brandies, please?
Very good, sir.
Thank you very much. So, it's too cold to go for a swim tonight, around midnight?
Very pretty, isn't she?
Oh.
It's her outfit that caught your eye.
Oh, our little waitress here?
Yes, the little waitress here, the one you were turning on all that charm for.
Come on, Mrs. Vernon. I have a confession to make. I don't turn on the charm. It's just that I've got so much of it, it just sort of pops out at all those unexpected times, you know?
Just like your innate modesty.
Hey, come on. We were just kidding around, that's all.
You don't have to apologize.
I don't? You mean you're not insanely jealous when you see me talking to another woman?
No. No, I don't have anything to worry about. I don't have to worry about the competition.
Spoken like a well-loved woman.
Well, that's because I am loved.
You said the right thing. You know the old saw? Flattery breeds attempt?
Oh, did you make that up?
Come on. Kiss me, you fool. Come on. I want a real kiss.
In front of all these people?
So what? We're never going to see them again. Come on.
Fred, I find you talking to that waitress, you're going to get a fat lip.
I thought you said you weren't jealous.
I lie a lot. You know what? I don't think it is too cold for that swim.
Well, moonlight's going to be pretty fierce out there.
That's what I had in mind.
All right. Tell you what, we'll go skinny dipping on one condition. Unless we spend a couple of hours at the casino first, okay?
Oh.
Just think, if you stood right behind my chair at the blackjack table, I could reach up, take your hand just as the dealer gave me the first card.
And you would win every time?
How'd you ever guess that, huh?
Listen, I have a better idea. Why don't we have dinner, and then we'll see the floor show around 11 o'clock, and then around midnight, maybe, we'll go swimming, and then we'll go back to the room, and we'll call it a night.
You know something? You're a born reformer. Also a sex fiend.
Are you complaining?
No, who's complaining? I'm admiring.
Oh, well, I don't want to be admired. I want to be loved.
Okay, you got it. 10 o'clock floor show, 11 o'clock swim, and don't bother bringing your suit.
Any words?
Nothing. Well, here we have a great selection. A little chicken soup, a little beef broth, some coffee.
Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Peter, is there any change?
Yes, there's a matter of fact, there has been. Brian's vital signs have improved perceptibly in the last half hour.
Oh, thank God. How do you mean?
Well, the initial symptoms of shock are wearing off now. His blood pressure is up a little bit, and his pulse is not quite so spiky. You're right. Some of his heartbeats are stronger than others.
Is he conscious yet?
No, Patty's not. But we hadn't expected that this soon.
Well, I'd like to go see him anyway.
I don't think that's a good idea yet.
Well, why not? I mean, I just want to sit beside his bed and hold his hand and talk to him, you know, even though he can't hear me.
Why don't you just give it a little more time, huh?
How much more time?
In the morning, maybe we'll see.
In the morning?
Look, he has to get his strength back. Now give him time to rest and to sleep. I think it would be good if you did that, too.
That's a very good idea. No, I'm staying right here.
Why?
Well, because if he happens to wake up, even if it's just for a minute, I would like to go in and see him.
I honestly don't think that's going to happen.
But it might. I mean, you're not just ruling out the possibility, are you?
No. No, I'm not.
I'm staying.
I'll be back in half an hour. Maybe you can see him tonight.
Peter. How does it look?
Not good at all, Viki. Not good at all.
What are the chances of saving him?
You believe in divine intervention?
Yes, I do.
Well, then pray, Viki. Pray, because, damn it, we are almost helpless.
Even though his blood pressure is up a little, it's still dangerously low. Abdominal hemorrhage, or ruptured spleen, or any number of things. There's a cranial fracture, undoubtedly some pressure on the brain.
Would surgery help?
He'd never survive it. We have to try to build him up first. I don't think there's any chance of that. Lad, look, there's no reason for you to stick around. Now, why don't you go on and try to reset your meeting with Karen? I know you're concerned about her.
It's not going to be any meeting, Jim.
What do you mean not going to be any meeting? If you hadn't left the house the moment you heard
I know. That was at 5 o'clock. Karen was already an hour late.
Well, Karen is notoriously late for everything.
Well, you think she'd be on time for something like this, don't you? I mean, if she thought it was important enough, if she thought there might be a chance of our getting back together again.
Well, don't you think you should at least call her? Let her know where you are. Let her know what's happening.
Call her. It's just I feel like I'm on a treadmill, Jim. I mean, we talk, we don't communicate. I set up a date to see her. She never shows up.
I mean, maybe it's better this way. You've given all your strength to try to straighten things out. Maybe it simply isn't meant to be.
I've got to try, Anna. Trouble is, at this point, I don't have any definite answers.
All right. Then just take your time. But you do have some definite answers. Anybody want any more coffee?
Oh, no, not for me.
Sister, I'll get it.
Thank you.
Just for a couple of minutes.
Dorian, and of course none of her fears are very reasonable, but one behaves like that at a time like this, doesn't one?
Is that all right?
Tony, Dad.
I came down here. I got your message, right? Oh, come here.
It isn't Todd, Tony. It's Brian. It's an accident. Stay by.
Still unconscious.
Yes.
And you say that Pat's in there with him?
Yes, Peter Jansen said she could only stay a few minutes, though. She'll be out in a second, I guess.
How badly hurt is he? Oh, come on, tell me.
All right, Tony, all right. Tony, he has internal injuries. The doctors are not yet sure how extensive they are. They know that his skull is fractured.
Oh, God. Just when we're pulling everything together. Just when there was a promise of something good happening in his life. Hello, Tony. Let me see Pat.
I'm afraid I can't.
Come on, there's no reason why I... Listen, she's going to be under a lot of pressure. And so maybe if I'm with her that I can cushion a little bit. You know, look, I just bent every rule in the book to let her in there. He's unconscious. That's an intensive care unit. He's on life support systems. But he's going to be all right.
That is impossible to say until his condition stabilizes. Tony, I'm sorry. Look, I wish I could say something more encouraging to you, but...
Well, Sam, I'll be on my way, darling, if there's nothing more you need.
No, I'm fine, thank you, Sadie.
Did your father tell you what time he'd be coming home from that medical dinner?
Late, probably.
You know something? Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing here.
Sadie, you take care of us. I don't know what we'd do without you.
Well, how can I take care of people when there's nobody here? Brad's gone. Well, you're just flying all over the countryside. And of course, your father, you know, he's just buried down in his work.
Now, Sadie, you're not thinking of quitting.
Well, I was thinking about talking to your father about it.
Oh, yeah, you realize what would happen? He'd have to eat my cooking. He'd die.
Well, you haven't been doing too bad lately. Oh, Sam, dear, tell me, what are you reading here?
Oh, it's just a book of short stories to read. There's a story in there about this young girl who falls in love with this older man, and he's going to get married to someone else, but the night before he's supposed to get married, this girl rides by his house, the one he and his bride are going to live in after they get married. I guess that's kind of silly of her, but she does it. She's just kind of lingering there, imagining what it would be like if he were to come home to her, cuddle up by the fireplace, listen to music.
Sam, that's a beautiful story, but I bet you won't find it in this book.
What are you talking about?
Oh, listen, honey. Listen, you know, everything, you can get over everything in time. And you know the good Lord in his great wisdom has made it so that nothing will last forever. Not pain, joy, or sorrow. And you know some of the things that, that we might think is very awful today, look at it tomorrow and, well, it didn't matter at all. And then sometimes there's something or somebody that's going to come right along and take its place.
I don't know.
Well, you just take my word for it. You know, I know it's hard for you to understand feeling the way you do, but, Sam, I am telling you the truth. All right? Okay, bye, Sam.
Okay, good night.
Oh, good night, sweetheart. Sam, do you know one thing? You are a very young lady. Hey, you know, I bet there is going to be a nice young man out there who's going to be awfully lucky one day. All right?
Okay.
Okay, Sam. Good night, sweetheart.
Mr. Kendall, I'm sorry, the time is up. Just 1 minute, please. Brian, sweetheart. You're going to be all right. I know it. You just need to rest and to get your strength back. And you simply, when you're well, you and I are going to go somewhere together. Just you and me. Oh, dear God.
Next, on One Life to Live, Tony doesn't know that the truth caused Brian's accident. Marco knows Karen is guilty.
Huh? There's one more secret between us, huh?
And Paul returns home only to learn the bad news. Now, 1 hour long, One Life to Live, coming up.
What's 30 minutes from now on ABC?
Can't you drive any faster? I'm very late.
It's amazing how angry you can get with me no matter what little gifts I buy you.
Listen, you got to pay for those little gifts in full.
Late for some more gifts?
What?
Are you late for your next client?
Shut up and drive fast. Wait, what? The kid! Kendall, stop! I'm getting out! Karen, what are you doing here? I asked Chapin about you. He didn't know that you're here. Just where have you been all this time? Tony, Brian is in very good hands. They're doing everything they can for him.
Brian's gonna die, isn't he?
Peter never said that.
Peter, you've got to let me go in there with him. I'm sorry, Tony. I told you that's impossible. Except for specified hours, we have a strict no visitors rule in ICU. But you let Pat in there. Yes, I did. Why? Because you don't think Brian's gonna make it.
Right here, sweetheart. Mom. Can you see me? Where's Dad? Sweetheart, look, you, just don't talk right now. Dad, just rest. I want Dad. At this time, would you please check to make sure that your seat back is in its full upright position and that your seatbelt is securely fastened. And again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying Worldwide Airlines. Living in New York?
Oh, no, I'm just getting a connecting flight. I live in Landview.
Took a quick flight down for the divorce, did you? No tan. Anybody who flies to the Caribbean and doesn't stay long enough to get a tan, see? I don't have one either.
Should have been a detective.
It was pointed out to me by my lawyer. Everything go smoothly for you?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I know what you mean. Smoothly as anything like that can go. Such an ordeal at best. Of course, in my case, there was no alternative. Actually, now that it's done, my only regret is that I didn't do this a long time ago. I mean, I could see it coming, and I simply refused to face the facts. Did you do that, too?
Yeah, I guess I did in a way.
I mean, when my husband let his hair grow long, and his sideburns, and started coming home with all those mod clothes, I should have realized. It was the classic recapture the lost youth syndrome. You read about it all the time. Of course, you never think it's going to happen to your husband. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the reason for it was right under my nose, too. Her name is Dawn. Honestly, those people who name their children after characters in trashy fiction. We had a neighbor in Larchmont who named her daughter East. Like the direction. Can you imagine? Well, that was before my husband was transferred. Come to think of it, maybe I should sue the company.
What?
Well, as they hadn't transferred him, he would never have acquired little Miss Nubile for secretary. When he was in the New York office, I never had anything to worry about. Poor Miss Henley was about 55, wore her hair in a bun at the back of her neck. Typical librarian type, you know. But when Roger began working late at night with dear little Dawn, and then when I met him for lunch one day at the office and got a look at her, well, as I say, I should have realized what had to be going on. Of course, we long-suffering spouses have an infinite capacity for self-delusion. Don't we?
I guess that's true sometimes.
Of course, looking back on it, I guess I wasn't really all that surprised when he told me. You know how he told me? I had just put his fried eggs down in front of him at breakfast one morning, and he looked me right in the eye and said, "Elizabeth, I want my freedom." Can you imagine? I mean, I know they say in times of great stress we all speak in cliches, but I suppose I was glad he had the decency to wait until the children had left for school. Excuse me, would you please fasten your seatbelt now? Oh, here.
You were talking about your children.
Yes. They were very upset. They still are. They love their father very much. And I think in a way they feel he deserted them. Do you have children?
Yes, a son.
And you love him very much, don't you? I could tell by the tone of your voice just now.
Yes, I do.
I gave Pat permission to see Brian because she is his mother, and because I am very concerned about her. Those are the only reasons.
Tony, Pat is in very bad shape.
But that's all the more reason for me to be up there with her. Look, I'm sorry, but I have bent the rules as much as I can. If Brian's father were here, it might be possible. Look, I am going to be Brian's father just as soon as I marry Pat. Look, Peter, I am going to have to insist that if Brian regains consciousness, that I be allowed in that room. Look, let's hold off a decision on that until it happens, huh? Now you'll have to excuse me. I do have another patient.
Sweetheart, I have to call the night editor. I'll be right back.
Tony, have you had anything to eat?
Me? I really don't know, Viki.
You want me to get you something?
No, it's all right.
Tony. Pat told me the whole story, so I do understand how you feel.
What whole story?
I know you're Brian's father.
Do you suppose it'd be all right if I went up there and sat outside the ICU section?
I can't see any reason why not. There's a waiting room there. You want me to go with you?
Yeah.
Dad. Tony. Mrs. Kendall, I think you better go. All right, sweetheart, I'm going to be right outside, okay? Just get your rest. Dad. Mercy, Dad. Nurse, please, wait outside, Mrs. Kendall. This is Thornton ICU. Put out an urgent page for Dr. Jansen. When did you come in, Karen? A little while ago. About an hour ago. I didn't even realize that you had come back. Oh, you were in the study. I didn't want to disturb you. You didn't want to disturb me. You knew I was waiting dinner for you. I'm sorry, Dorian. If you had let me know earlier, I could have invited someone else. For instance, I'm sure that Mr. Huddelston would have loved to have the invitation. What? The man that you met here this afternoon in the study. He came for the hospital board meeting. Although he is a dirty old man. Really? He seemed very nice when I spoke to him. Well, he could hardly make a pass at you with Chapin in the hallway and me likely to come in at any moment. You know, I think that he joined the hospital committee just to have the opportunity to take young women to lunch. You see, he loves to sit real close to you, and then he puts his hand on your hand and gives it a meaningful squeeze. Oh, I got the picture. I'm very sorry if I offended your sensitivities. I just wanted to warn you against him. Thank you. I'm sure our paths will never cross again. I'm not so sure about that. The way I saw him eyeing you when I came into the study. Anyway, Karen, I had to eat alone, and you know that I hate that. Dorian, I'm sorry. When your sister gets out of the hospital, you won't be eating alone. Sir, any more word on when she's getting out of the sanitarium? I called Dr. Overton a few times today. Naturally, he didn't return any of my calls. I think I'm going to make a note and have my lawyer call him first thing in the morning. I didn't mention anything about your meeting with Larry. I just assumed that you didn't want to talk about it. There wasn't any meeting, Dorian. You called it off. No, I didn't go. Why not? I suppose because I didn't know what I would say when I got there. Karen, I don't think that you want him. I guess that's part of it, yes. Well, then where have you been all this time? Oh, I wanted to think. I drove out to the Rover Road, and I wanted to have dinner at that lovely place. What's the name of it? The Colonial Inn. Right, the Colonial Inn. And then I decided I wasn't very hungry, so I drove to the Overlook and looked out, and I thought about where I was going with my life, where I wanted to go. And what earth-shattering conclusions did you come to? of my life. And that I have nobody to blame but myself. Oh, Karen, stop that. And stop moralizing about your situation. It is not important who did what to whom. What is important, then? What you want. And after I find that out, what then? Then you decide how to get it. Are you speaking from experience, Dorian? Yes, I am. You make it sound so easy. You even make it look easy. If that's all there were. But Karen, isn't there something more important than that? Is there, Dorian? You see, my problem is, Dorian, that I don't even know what's missing in my life.
When did the accident happen?
About 4:30 this afternoon.
Just hit and run. I just can't imagine anybody could do that, and to a child. I mean, they must have seen it. They must have realized it.
I'm sure they did, Tony.
They left him lying right there in the room.
Yes, but there was no delay in getting him to the hospital. I mean, I don't want you to think that he suffered unduly. There were eyewitnesses to the accident. They called the ambulance immediately.
If I thought that just...
Oh, Tony. Oh, Tony.
It's going to be all right, Pat. I promise it's going to be all right. Come on. Sit down. How is he?
I don't know.
Peter, I'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Why don't I leave that paper for 15 minutes? They managed to left something.
What's wrong?
That's all right. It's taken care of now. Any change?
Sweetheart, I think maybe we should go down to the cafeteria and get something to eat.
We're running out of the cafeteria. Can we bring it in?
No, thank you.
No, thank you, Joe.
We'll be right back.
I'm sorry it took me so long to get here, but I had these unscheduled appointments, and they just kept piling up. And
It's all right. It's all right. You're here now. You know, he was awake a little while ago. He talked to me very clearly.
Now, that's a good sign, isn't it?
Yes, I hope so. I wanted to ask Peter about that.
Well, we can ask him when he comes out.
Yeah.
What did Brian say?
Well, it's really not important what he said, is it? I mean, the fact that he was awake. It's so encouraging.
How did it happen? Do you know? If you'd rather not talk about it,
No, it's all right. Well, you see, he was in a hurry as he was leaving the house. You know how careful he usually is. And he was running down the street, I guess a couple blocks, and apparently he was crossing the street when this man was driving very fast. 35, 40 miles an hour, they said.
where was Brian going?
I really don't know where he was going. I wasn't listening. I was making dinner. I remember telling him that
everybody would be better.
It's all right. It's all right.
He's going to be okay. I know it.
Of course he is. Nurse? Dr. Jansen will be out in just a few minutes, Mrs. Kendall. What are you trying to avoid talking to us?
Don't let your imagination run wild.
Oh, God, I'm so glad you... Now, Viki, honey, let me explain this thing to you. Incidentally, the commercial was just great. It was just great. It was so great, in fact, that Phil Kellogg kept telling me how wonderful I was. Oh, it was in a nice way, honey. It wasn't coming on with me, not at all. You want a beer? I'll get you a beer. Stay right there. So, anyway, Vinny, he says to me he has this other client, and he thinks maybe I could do a commercial for him, you know? So he said I should come over 6 o'clock tonight. Well, oh, wait a minute, where was I? Oh, yeah. I said to myself, well, Vinny was tickled pink about the other thing, and he didn't object, so of course it'll be okay with him. And guess what? I got it. I got it. Isn't that great? What do you think of that? You don't like it? You don't even know what it is, no, you don't like it. Boy, when he finds out what it really is, he's gonna blow his top. Vinny, now listen. Let me explain this new thing to you. You see, the thing is, it's a job. You gotta think of it that way. It's just a job, and it's very respectable. And besides, women are hardly the only people who ever see commercials like that.
How'd you know I wanted this?
Hey!
Who's you talking to?
Myself.
You do that a lot?
Yeah. When I'm trying to get my head together about something. Vinny, the commercial went very well today.
I'm very glad.
You don't sound very glad.
I'm sorry. But you know, sweetheart, sometimes something happens that makes everything else seem like it's, not important. You know what I mean?
Vinny, what happened?
Brian Kendall,
Yeah?
you know, Pat's son, got hit by a car today, and he's in the hospital, and he's very bad. There we are. Thanks, Judith.
Any change? No, we're still waiting for Peter to come out. Nurse, will you please tell Dr. Jansen I want to talk to him? just the way I am now, and I can feel the pressure in his fingers just the way I do now.
He knows you're here.
Well, of course he does. Don't you know you're a sweetheart? And you know how much I love you.
Tony, come on, please. your little talk with Dr. Wonderful?
No, I got tired. I was waiting for him and I left.
Why is it that I don't think you were waiting for him to come to your house at all today?
I'm sure I don't know, Margaret.
Oh. You know, even given your tendency to play dangerous games, it strikes me as awfully odd that you'd be entertaining our friend Mr. Huddelston when you were waiting for your husband to arrive. Yeah, you see, after I left your place, I went outside and I had some trouble starting the car. Now, I don't know what it was. It must have been cold weather, whatever, but while I was out there cranking the old thing up, out hobbles old Huddelston. Actually, he was running. He looked kind of upset, too. Now, either he came in the back door, or he was there when you and I were talking.
What the hell are you doing spying on me, Marco?
What spying? I told you what happened.
Well, it wasn't the way you think.
Now, what do you think I think?
I'm not sure, but I know your filthy mind. I met him this afternoon. Here at Dorian's. He, seems that he's interested in artwork, and, I told him that I had a very nice piece of modern sculpture, and he asked if he could come over later this afternoon and see it, and I said yes, and it seems that he collects artwork.
Yeah, they know he collects toots.
He treated me like a perfect lady.
Yeah, you make a sale?
Oh, hell, Marco.
Oh, sweetie, you're getting upset. What's the matter? You're coming off the spool. Tell Marco about it. Maybe I can help, huh? Crisis at the paper?
Joe Riley asked that they call me. Pat Kendall's boy. Was struck by a car, hit and run. It happened earlier this evening.
Oh, is he hurt badly?
He just died a few moments ago. Apparently there was never any chance really to save him. He had skull fractures and massive internal injuries. Joe called primarily to see to it that the banner would post a reward.
A reward?
Yes, for the apprehension of the driver.
Oh, that's right. It was hit and run, wasn't it? Were there any witnesses, any leads, anything about the matter?
Oh, no, I was too upset to ask about that. What a terrible thing to happen, especially right now for Pat and Tony. They were going to be married the end of this week.
Really?
Yes, Paul is in the Caribbean right now getting one of those fast, uncontested divorces.
It's going to be quite a blow to him.
Not to mention what it's going to do to Tony and Pat's plan.
Yeah, did you post a reward?
Of course.
How much?
$5,000 for the moment. And then if the driver's not apprehended right away, we can always raise that amount. See, I wonder...
What?
I wonder if someone is taking messages for Pat. I really should call and offer my condolences and see if there's anything I can do to help. Excuse me.
Kind of rough, huh? Young kid like that, he couldn't have been more than, what, 12?
He can't be dead. He can't be.
Hey, Karen, come on, you're trembling. I didn't know you knew Brian that well.
No, we lived next door to them before Larry and I moved into our house.
Yeah, but all the same. I guess I just never pictured you much to be, much of a person with children. Well, I guess this is one more secret between us, huh?
What do you mean?
Well, we wouldn't want this to get out or anything, now would we? But deep down inside Karen Wolek, there's a soft spot.
No, I was just thinking about how Pat must be feeling.
Yeah, her husband doesn't even know about it yet. What a homecoming he's going to come back to.
And we'd like to welcome you to John F. Kennedy International Airport, where the temperature is 35 degrees, 2 degrees Celsius. For your safety, we ask that you please remain seated until Captain Davis has brought the aircraft to a complete stop at the terminal building. And again, on behalf of the entire flight crew, we'd like to thank you for flying Worldwide Airlines. Well, back to the real world. So nice talking to you. It does make the time pass faster, doesn't it?
Sure does.
And
works out for you. All the luck in the world.
Thank you. I think I'm going to need it.
I know what you mean. Well, bye. Mr. Kendall, I have a passenger representative to get you to your connecting flight. Can you follow me?
Sure. Honey, I'll bring the car around.
Thank you, darling. It'll only take you a few minutes to get the car.
He didn't know, did he?
I'll be outside when you need me back.
Didn't know that I was his real father. How many times did I beg you? Just to tell him. Just to let me tell him. How many times? 12? 100? How many? We could have sat down. We both could have sat down. You should have known that. Now it's gone. I was working late. I just heard the music. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Is there anything at all I can do? Oh, do you think that you've done enough? What? Because you're part of this whole deception. At least that's what Pat said. You're the one who told her not to tell Brian that I was his father.
I thought she should put it off, yes.
Right. And now what chance do we have? Brian's gone. And he died believing a lie.
It's all right, Pat. He doesn't know what he's saying.
I know exactly what I'm saying.
Tony, look,
My son is dead.
Pat, he's very upset. He'd never blame you.
I did tell Brian.
Why didn't you tell Tony?
I couldn't. Brian hated it. Tony thought they would love each other.
I see. Pat, is there anything I can...
When is he coming back?
In the morning. You know, in the ways that really mattered, he was Brian's father.
It doesn't expect you back till tomorrow morning.
Yeah, well, I had to take an earlier flight back.
Well, if it was me, I would have stayed there till the last minute. Especially with the weather we're having around here.
Fortunately, I had some business to attend to, so I had to cut things short.
Hang this up in the closet.
Yeah, please.
All right, let's see now. There's ice water and a picture there, evening newspaper. Anything else?
No, I think that'll take care of it. Thanks, Slezak.
Thank you, Mr. Kendall. Oh, I almost forgot. Phone messages while you were away.
Oh, Thanks. Good night. Bye.
Brian Kendall?
Yes.
He's dead. Stay with you? Do you want to talk about it?
No. I want to be alone.
I don't think that's good. You should be with someone.
I want to be with my son. But he's...
Tony, I'm sorry. I know that there's nothing that I can say or do to alleviate the hurt that you feel.
So why don't you just go your own way and try to find Pat? I'm sure that she needs your help.
Tony, you should be with Pat. You need each other.
What I needed was for Pat to tell Brian that I was his real father, and somehow she just couldn't do that. It's Brian!
He wouldn't have run out. And he wouldn't.
Pat, you had to tell him sooner or later.
I should have told him years ago, and none of this would have happened. He was my little boy. My baby. I gave birth to him. I nursed him. I loved him more than anything else in the world. He's only 12 years old. His life is over. Before he even knew what life was all about. He died hating. Not loving, but hating. Hating me, hating Tony. Hating his own mind. No. Maybe he was running down that street and saw that car. Maybe he didn't care if it hit him. Maybe he wanted it to hit him. What am I going to do without him? What am I going to do?
My son is dead. I was damn cheated.
Tony, stop. Of course you feel cheated. I can understand that. And Pat can too. But the tragic thing is that that boy is dead. Not that he never knew who his real father was. That's what you've been cheated of, his life. And Pat feels that just as strongly as you do, maybe more.
I know that.
Then, Tony, why aren't you with her, holding her? My God, if two people ever needed each other, you and Pat do right now.
I can't.
Tony, she loves you, and you love her.
I really did think I'd only grazed him.
Well, you didn't. You hit him hard, and he's dead.
What is there to say?
There's plenty to say. For one thing, maybe someone saw it. Maybe the cops are on this way this minute.
Oh, now you're being paranoid.
Well, maybe I am. Now, just tell me, where you going to meet me?
Oh, call me at the office tomorrow morning and we'll arrange a lunch.
Not tomorrow, I said tonight. I'll meet you at midnight tonight at the Millbrook Diner at 47th. How's that?
I really don't have much choice.
That's all right. I'll see you at 12. You know, Karen, it's really a very funny thing, but every time that you're alone in the room, even if it's just for 2 minutes, you always jump for the telephone and you call someone. And then when you hang up, you're so mysterious and secretive. Why?
Karen is a woman of many secrets.
Well, thank you. Sounds very exciting, actually. I was just trying to find out this story on Brian's accident. I called Anna. And nobody was home. I just don't understand how anyone could do that.
Yeah, I know. Little kid. How could anyone hit a little kid and then just keep on going?
I don't know. Well, Joe Riley said that he's not going to rest until they have gotten the driver of that car. And I support him all the way. As far as I'm concerned, hit-and-run drivers should be thrown in prison and then promptly destroy the key.
Mr. and Mrs. Paul Kendall this evening. Their 12-year-old son, Brian, was struck by a car on Huddelston Avenue. The driver, however, did not stop, and the police are investigating. Although the boy was rushed to Longview Hospital, it was to no avail. He died about an hour ago. Anyone with any information leading to the identity of the hit-and-run driver should call Lieutenant Ed Hall at this number.
It's Hawkins. Did you know that little boy, Becky? I just met him a couple of times, but I know his parents. Miss Kendall writes the column for the Banner. Pat Kendall. Oh, of course. And Mr. Kendall is Daddy. He works for Miss Lord's publishing company. They're real nice people.
Well, it's just awful. I certainly hope they catch whoever did it.
It don't make no sense. I mean, the police know that they didn't mean to do it, so why run away?
Well, maybe the driver was going too fast. Or was drunk or something. Or maybe he just panicked and took off.
I just feel so bad for his parents.
Yes, my heart goes out to them, too.
No, Mr. Kendall went away for a couple of days. Supposed to come back to work tomorrow. Do you think he will?
Probably not.
When he does come, if I run into him, what am I going to say? I mean, how do you say anything?
You just say you're sorry. There's really nothing else you can say.
No, you got to say more than that.
I mean, I do.
I know what he's going through. I know what it's like for a man to lose his son.
What do you know about that, Becky?
I just know a whole lot.
Are you talking about your own family? Becky, do you have brothers?
Miss Hopkins, you know I don't want to talk about my family or my past, so I don't know why you even bother to ask.
Well, to tell you the truth, neither do I. Never get to any place. I just ended up more curious than I started with.
Yeah, I know.
And usually I ask because I'm concerned. Listen, Becky, are you ever going to open up at all? Oh, all right. Now I'll go straighten out the kitchen and do the dinner dishes. Are you going to bed?
No. I think I'm going to write a letter.
I'll check with you before I turn in, okay?
I just read about Brian in the newspaper. I mean,
Is he all right?
Oh, my God, Paul, I'm sorry. Brian's gone.
What?
I'm sorry, Paul. He died.
What are you talking about? There's got to be a mistake.
Listen, I would give anything in the world if there were a mistake, Paul.
Larry,
Couldn't save him, I'm sorry.
I can't believe this.
You want coffee? Get a glass of water, maybe?
Elliot. What happened? I know he got hit by a car, but...
Okay, well, there were witnesses. But there was a car. They saw this car speeding around a corner, and Brian ran out in the street, and well, the driver slammed on his brakes. It was too late, Paul.
Did the driver stop? I thought it was hit and run, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Evidently, there was a woman in the car, and well, they stopped and made a call for the ambulance. The police said there was an anonymous call that came in. We got him here as soon as we could, Paul.
Couldn't you do anything for him?
We tried. I'm sorry. He didn't have a chance.
Did he come to at all?
Yeah, Pat was with him.
I just don't understand that. But I know accidents happen, but Brian was always so careful when he crossed the street. He never ran out in the middle of the street like that. When did he die?
It's a little after 10 o'clock.
I was still on the plane. I couldn't have got here in time. Anyway, would I? Jesus, I should never have left here in the first place. But he begged me not to. My God, that was the last conversation I had with him, Larry. He begged me not to get the divorce. He begged me to stay, not to leave him. I said goodbye and I left. What about Pat? Is she all right? Maybe I should go with her. She might need me. God knows I need her. Got Tony, doesn't she? I guess she doesn't need me.
Matter of fact, Tony went home alone. Pat went with Joe and Viki. I think she'd like to see you very much, Paul. Yeah, I'm afraid it's gonna be.
you in a moment.
Oh, I just scolded. Wait a minute. Just scolded me how you beat me all the time at this game. I'm not going to play anymore.
No, temper.
You know, I think you cheat.
Karen, would you come over here and watch us guarantee this woman that I do not see?
No, I think I'm going to go to bed. So early? That's not so early. Anyway, I have a headache. Good night, Dorian. I'll see you in the morning. Could you please make that early? I have lots of things I would like you to do for me tomorrow. Sure. I'll be up with the rest of the servants.
I don't think Karen's too happy here.
Well, that makes two of you. Makes two of us, I can assure you.
Becoming disillusioned with her?
Mm-hmm. Just like a baby all the time. I mean, she's so childish and self-centered. I don't know how Larry put up with her as long as he did. Besides which, she is absolutely no fun.
Well, she used to be.
What's that little remark mean? You know, I'm very intrigued by your relationship. I know the two of you had a past history and you just won't admit it.
I'll admit to a past history, but that's all. I don't kiss and tell, Dorian.
I'll bet.
Come on, lay your card down, will you?
This is a lousy hand. I can't stand to lose.
Well, it does my heart good to see you lose sometimes.
I lose lots of times. Love, friendship.
Well, looks like you make another wrong choice with Karen, huh?
Apparently. Now I've got to think of a way to get her out of here. I certainly have left a lot of big hints, but she just chooses to ignore them.
Karen's mind doesn't work that way. If you want her out of here, you're going to have to pick her up, pitch her out bodily. And then, maybe, she'll get the point.
I heard it on the news. That's all I've been able to think about since.
Well, I was going to call you, and I thought I really want someone to talk with. I couldn't very well just go straight home and go to bed. I'll tell you one thing, when I do go home, I'm going to wake Danny up. I'm going to give him one big hug.
I'll give him two, one for me. I'm sitting here remembering when I first met Brian and Pat. I was pregnant with Megan. It was in New York. I remember how impressed I was by their relationship, how they seemed to be able to handle everything, even though their father wasn't around. I don't know, I guess it made me think that, yes, I could do it. I could be an only parent.
Helped you decide to have Megan.
Yes, I think it did. Oh, God, Larry. Megan's gone and now Brian? Both by automobile accidents?
Yeah.